Fishing is a sport, a favorite pastime of many, and the livelihood of millions around the world. Regardless of the preferred method of fishing, they all come with their own dangers and safety guidelines that should be heeded. But even when you're safe, sometimes things get out of your control and can put you in harm's way, and in some cases, can even turn lethal. And there's nothing more intense than being in a situation you feel you may have lost control over. Today we'll take a look at 10 fishing videos that almost took a turn for the worst. If you're as bad on a kayak as I am, this might trigger some anxiety, so, fair warning. Number 10. A group is fishing in the town of Whyte in Queensland, Australia, when one of them hooks a large Spanish mackerel. These fish are known to put up quite the fight. While he works to reel the fish in, he doesn't realize that his efforts are about to be wasted.
Like you did that. Oh no. Jesus Christ.
As the mackerel is being reeled in, a small shark appears and swiftly grabs the fish, pulling it off the line. The fishers, though shocked, aren't too upset because they all agree this was pretty amazing to see. Number 9. Two men are kayak fishing on the coast of New South Wales in Australia when one of them notices a great white shark circling them. They decide to move to a different location, but the shark stays with them. As the shark follows them, one of the men gets the sense that the shark is pretty large and begins recording. This is what he captures. The man, wanting to get a clear view of the shark, dips his camera into the water to see how large it actually is. The shark, though not record-breaking, is still large enough to make you feel uneasy, especially when you are in a kayak. Like I had said before, remember? Fortunately for these fishers, the shark was more curious than anything. They were able to remain safe and left with quite the story to tell. Number 8. Two men are looking for an appropriate place to begin ice fishing. Typically, it's encouraged not to fish on any ice that's under 4 inches thick, so they come to an area that they believe to be about 4 inches. One of the men starts to hit the ice repeatedly with the spud bar so that he can create a hole to get an accurate measurement on the thickness of the ice. Though there are many suggestions on how to stay safe while ice fishing that can help you, no ice is truly safe, and what happens next is definitely a reminder of that.
By the looks of that crack.
He strikes the ice 19 times, and on lucky number 20, a long crack appears in the ice, and yes, I did count. This momentarily startles both of them, and they brace themselves for whatever was next. Luckily, they aren't harmed and are able to laugh it off, but the sound of the crack forming under the ice is enough to give you nightmares. Number 7. Three men are game fishing off the coast of Port Stephens, Australia. While working to reel in a striped marlin, things turn potentially deadly very quickly. The marlin can be seen fighting and jumping out of the water. Eventually, one jumps onto the boat, nearly impaling one of the fishers. Marlins are one of the more dangerous things to fish for, because they have a sword for a face. So it's not something that's unheard of, as there have been many cases of injuries and even fatalities. This particular fish was just under 200 pounds and could have caused a lot of damage to these fishermen. But with some people, it's just not their time. And if there was a poster child for not your time yet, it's this guy. And hopefully he bought a lottery ticket that day, because he dodged that fish like Jack Sparrow. Number 6. YouTuber Ben Chansey is fishing for Goliath grouper fish off the Atlantic coast of Stuart, Florida. Ben works to bring the Goliath grouper to the top of the water, but it escapes. Immediately after, a bull shark chomps down on the bait. Ben decides to try to catch the shark and struggles to reel it in for 35 minutes. But just as the shark reaches the surface, the unthinkable happens.
Whoa, baby!
As Ben brings the bull shark to the surface of the water, an intense struggle causes the kayak to flip over, and Ben falls directly on top of the shark. Ben later mentions his first thought was to get back on the kayak, But after realizing the shark was right below him, he made a beeline to the boat in a split-second decision, a decision that may have saved his life, as bull sharks are more well known for unprovoked attacks on humans. Luckily, he was able to make it to the boat without harm. Number 5. Just an average day of ice fishing almost turns fatal for YouTuber 618 Fishing when a culmination of small mistakes goes unnoticed. Being in the heat of the moment, it can be hard to know what went wrong, but after reviewing the footage, 618 Fishing notices quite a few disturbing things that led up to the event. First, he notices there's water all around his feet. When he was there, he thought he was safe because the ice was thick, but wasn't aware of how weak the ice was until it bends under his feet. Not only is the ice weak, but the time-lapse video shows the ice getting even weaker as it melts around his feet. He was able to get out of the ice safe, and fortunately he recorded the entire incident so he never has to make that mistake again. Number 4. This next clip happened during a routine kayak fishing expedition off the coast of Honolulu, Hawaii. Fisherman and YouTuber Brumaghim catches and begins reeling in a large tuna. Before he's able to make the catch, something interferes. Originally identified as a Galapagos shark, it was later believed to actually be a juvenile great white shark. Even though this was a young shark, the size of it compared to an adult Galapagos shark aren't that far apart, and are still capable of major damage if they really wanted to attack. Lucky for Isaac, he was able to maintain his composure and remained unharmed. Number 3. Jos Kemp was kayak fishing off the coast of Salt Rock, South Africa. Everything is going as planned until a curious visitor shows up. While Jos is fishing, a shark speedily rushes up behind him and rams his kayak. Sharks aren't typically interested in kayaks, but may bump into one if they're curious. Out of the 6,522 recorded shark incidents between 1779 and May of 2020, only 59 or 9% involved a kayak. But it's still not 0%, and you never can tell if you'll be the one to fall into that statistic. Fortunately, Jos does exactly what he's supposed to do in this situation by staying composed, making sure his feet are in the kayak, and calmly collecting himself. Number 2. 2 men are fishing off the coast of Myali Beach in Sedgefield, South Africa, when one of the men notices a 16-foot great white shark circling the other. They pull their kayaks together in order to make themselves a bigger target, but the shark continues to circle them and keeps coming up for test bites, which makes the situation even more intense. The GoPro camera is put aside several times. Each time the fisherman did this, he was fighting off the great white. Most of the kayak videos we've seen have been quick incidents, but this particular shark followed them for over 11 minutes, which can be very exhausting if you don't remain calm in that situation. They said that this was a very exciting yet humbling experience that they're in no rush to experience again, and I can totally understand why. This next video took place in 2012 in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. A woman named Sarah Brame is reeling in a 5-pound red drum from a small dock. Little does she know that another predator is staking out her catch and is about to make its move.
Oh, he's got no line. That wheel's line.
Oh shit! Oh Jesus Christ!
Is it on my pole?
It's on mine! It's on mine! Get it!
Shit,
Son of a bitch! It's a shark!
It's a shark! A shark! It's a big ass shark!
It's on.
As Sarah reels in her catch, a bull shark swoops in and pulls the fish right off the line. The sight of this gets everyone a little excited, to say the least.
Shark! A shark! It's a big ass shark!
It's on.
Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all soon.